Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Abraham, and today we shall have a detailed discussion of this common skin disorder, papilosquamous in nature. We call pityriasis rosea. Very, very common, disturbing young adults, causing a lot of distress, yet it is very, very harmful. And you will find that so many people have ended up actually getting it mismanaged and worrying actually for no good reason. So pityriasis rosea is one of the common conditions that can affect young adults who are otherwise healthy. So if someone tells you that history that they are okay, no HIV infection or nothing, they are very okay, then they got a rash that had a sudden onset, they are not taking any medication, maybe or maybe not, they had a sore throat a month or some weeks ago before the onset of the rash, then you can start thinking about pityriasis rosea. So today we shall discuss in detail to see how it comes about and how to deal with it. So pityriasis rosea was also described by Gilbert, so it is also called pityriasis rosea Gilbert, or depending on where you come from, Gilbert. And pityriasis simply means a scale. That one we talked about it very many times. And rosea simply means pink. So pityriasis rosea is a very common acute self-limiting papilosquamous eruption, which favors otherwise very, very normal individuals. So Robert William described it as rosea acuminata in 1798, and then later on, Camille Gilbert named it pityriasis rosea in the 1860s. So that's why it is also called Gilbert disease or pityriasis rosea Gilbert. So pityriasis rosea loves people within about 10 to 35 years with a slight female predominancy, and it can last between 6 to 8 weeks, or sometimes can persist up to 5 months. It has a seasonal variation depending on where you come from. So for us who have a wet and dry season, we see it more oftentimes when you're transitioning from a dry season to wet seasons, where there are a lot of cough, flu, a lot of dust, then people develop this condition. So the pathogenesis is still unclear, and the ordinary literature that is available implicated viral cause, where it was associated with human herpesvirus number 6 and number 7, as well as number 8 in some cases. And also it was associated with influenza A virus. So all these associations have not yet been proven. So when you're writing maybe an exam, you just say cause is not known. However, we have theories with documentation of virus being implicated, but not yet proven. So in the clinical picture of pityriasis rosea, we see it presenting with a classical type. Sometimes we start with what we call the herald patch. Some literature calls it the mother patch. So someone reports to you that the rash started with a big rash, maybe a big eruption, which was maybe one located either on the neck, on the face, on the trunk, or sometimes on the limbs, which was there maybe for about 1 or 2 weeks or even days. Then after that, they develop now a generalized rash that almost covers the entire body. So you'll find that a few percentage of patients, like 5%, they can have a problem of maybe fever, headache, malaise, joint pains, but the majority are actually having no symptoms. So other rashes will look like the mother rash, and on the back they'll follow the Langerhans lines of cleavage that will give rise to a Christmas pattern. You know, in the back, how the lines are moving on the back, so it will give you that Christmas pattern. And only 25% of the patient will report for you pruritus. And pityriasis rosea also has variants. Either you can classify them as morphological variants or variants depending on location. So one of them is inverse pityriasis rosea, which affects interheterogeneous areas, including, as you can see in this picture here, these rashes in between the gluteal folds, but you can also see some other scattered rashes on the rest of the body. You can also have oral lesions, though very, very uncommon, and sometimes you can have arterial edematous or EM-like lesions. Sometimes it can be vesicular, other times it can be fascicular. So depending on the presentation, you can classify a particular morphological variant. So as you can see in this picture, this is what we call the herald patch. So in this case, it is this patch that was very big at first. Then later on, you get all these other rashes that are similar to the mother rash, and they will have this correlate of scale. And some, you see now all these papules, the dermatous papules, sometimes you can even get vesicles. So it has various ways of presenting. But what is key in the history is that one particular rash that usually comes before the rest of them. Sometimes you can even fail to elicit the herald patch because it is asymptomatic. Sometimes if it is hidden in an area where an individual cannot see, they will not report that history. But the distribution, the rapid onset, and the picture, clinical picture of the patient will give you an idea of what you're dealing with. So when you take off a biopsy, still it will give you unspecific findings with some sort of parakeratosis, spongiosis, lymphocytic infiltrate, and if it is fascicular, you can also get epidermal pustules. So you see now this is parakeratosis, so you have retained nuclei in the stratum corneum. Then you have some degree of spongiosis here. You have some you see these white spaces, that is white spaces, that is water, that's what causes spongiosis or intracellular edema. And you see these lymphocytes that are infiltrating everywhere. So that is the lymphocytic infiltrate. That's the picture I'll get with Pityriasis rosea. So in terms of treatment, Pityriasis rosea, since we don't know the exact cause, some people associate it with viruses, others with bacteria, others autoimmune. So the treatment really is just to be, it is actually supportive. You're trying to, if the patient has pruritus, you give an antipyretic medication, like maybe like calamine lotion, or even oral antihistamines like cetirizine, fexofenadine. And some people, or some literature, we usually give acyclovir, thinking that maybe it is because of the herpesvirus infection. So we give acyclovir for about 2 weeks. And some literature, if there's history of a sore throat, a cough, a flu, you can add on erythromycin. And then other treatment modalities include phototherapy. So you have to note that Pityriasis rosea also carries a risk of abortion, especially if it occurs in a gravid patient before 15 weeks of gestation. It can result into spontaneous abortions. So thank you very much. That was a brief review of Pityriasis rosea. Just remember, herald patch, a rash covering the body in a very short period of time and occurring in a healthy adult with otherwise no other chronic illnesses. Thank you very much. See you in the next video. Remember to subscribe, share, and comment which video you want us to cover for you when it comes to dermatology in skin of color.